Oh, yeah, no worries.
Not do that, so.
Oh, gotcha.
Just
It's
keep
okay.
up. I'll just keep up.
We're good on track.
Yeah. Sorry, for folks just listening, Zach just ruined the whole flow.
Yeah, Zach stepped in front of every camera before he grabbed his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really threw off my circadian rhythm.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah.
I stopped the way your body processes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, I
I'm
just
gonna be
ruined
honest.
my
I have
sleep
no
schedule.
idea what. I've never heard that word in my life.
Circadian?
Never heard circadian
No.
Circadian biology?
Is that is that like medieval? Is that like a medieval
Holy
squadron?
shit.
No, it's like it's just the clock your body is on that, like, it's why having a good sleep schedule is like physically good for
If
you.
you've never seen-
Circadian
The
nights.
nation of Sarcadia.
Yes.
If you've never seen
Circadian nights, bro.
Yeah.
The Sarcadian night. That
you-
sounds
That sounds
dope
sick,
as fuck, dude.
actually,
Yeah.
People who just actively try and advocate for good sleep schedules. The circadian nights.
By killing you?
Yeah. Sleep tight, motherfucker.
We will make
Yeah.
you sleep forever.
I love it. The circadian nights of the round table. Yeah.
We look, we search for the eternal sleep. They just come in.
Just kill themselves. Yeah. What is that? Yeah. Zach's gone now. He's just locking eyes with one of the
That's what I
cameras.
do
yeah.
when they go off. I just look into
Yeah,
that
yeah.
camera for as long as I
Pull a
can,
little
and he's
office,
never
yeah.
noticed.
Oh, really?
He has
that's
the
so
podcast.
funny.
He's never once looked in that
And
camera.
Ray never
and gone,
cuts to
"Look
that
at Zach's
camera angle.
face."
Yeah.
What makes you think I'm watching the podcast?
Swallow this.
Welcome back to Reasonably Afraid. We're on episode 9. Episode 9?
Episode
Whoa.
9, yeah.
Episode 9. Holy
Nice.
shit.
Yeah.
We fucking beat the 7, baby.
Is that like when podcasts usually die?
Yeah.
Episode
Yeah.
7?
The,
Really?
The,
Oh,
the
yeah,
average is
okay.
7 episodes.
Damn.
Yeah. Which means about most people are willing to put it out about 10 hours of work before they
They're like, wait a minute, this isn't actually.
if they're
Well,
not
there's-
famous,
yeah.
There's a lot of work behind the scenes, so
Yeah.
realistically, it's just like they do a day's worth of work, and they're like, I don't want to do this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta want it, baby.
You do.
Gotta
you
want
do.
it.
You gotta have stuff to say too, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Today's a special episode, boys.
Why?
We got our friend Danny Padilla with us.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, of course. I'm friends with you guys outside of this, so
Yeah.
it only made sense, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
live
actually
5
right,
minutes
yeah.
from us, so that helps.
Yeah, no, it was easy. It's very easy to come over, yeah.
Yeah, our first guest episode, we're like, who's closest?
Yeah. Who's close? And I've been listening to the episodes. I'm a proper fan. I rated you guys 5 stars. Just kidding, 1 star on Spotify. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And I actually started episode 3, which is funny. So I've not actually heard episodes 1 and 2. I'm sorry I missed some core info.
That's okay.
There, but-
Those are, as most people know, those are the episodes where people are trying to still get their foot in and figure
yeah,
out
the
what
experimental
doing,
ones,
so.
of course. You're like, yeah, of course.
Danny,
we did,
Danny was the reviewer that said, I don't know about that Sean guy.
Yeah. I still don't know about that Sean
I
guy.
wouldn't
He's
bring
yeah.
that up, honestly. You just pissed me off.
Sean started pissed.
Dude, I'm fired up for this episode now.
Yeah. Good. You were talking about being tired beforehand, and now you're all good. Yeah.
You just woke me up.
Well, I got my usual, my co-hosts with me. We got Sean Dolan,
Hello.
and we got Ray Reyes.
Yo.
Ray is sitting in a new seat.
I know, right? Did I
Yeah.
banish you to the back because you guys wanted me to be in the
No,
front?
we banished.
Nah, just chilling with Mr.
Johnny
Johnny
Ash.
Ash over here.
Yeah,
Cool,
Johnny
cool.
Ash is normally sitting there, but
Now he's stalking me.
he contributes so little.
Yeah.
You didn't even put a mic in front of him.
Yeah,
honestly,
for real. We
Yeah.
gave him a shirt and a chainsaw, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna say anything."
I feel like he's the
thanks-
CEO, just
thank-
like with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
I'm like his prisoner.
Yeah.
Oh, our producer Turner is asleep.
Yeah,
so
he's
he's
being
asleep.
cute as hell. Oh,
he did his work already.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's been sleeping throughout the last 2 episodes.
That's
so
really-
like,
Because he's normally a fucking menace.
yeah.
so
Yeah.
he clocked out at 7, basically.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
the guy who clocked out
Yeah,
at 7.
yeah, he's just
like,
doing it for a
you know what?
paycheck now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm happy to be here, you guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being our first guest.
Of course. I'm glad. I'm your little guinea pig.
Yeah, popping
after
it-
me, you're like, God, we can't have anyone else on. That was a fucking disaster.
No,
This guy
you're a
sucks,
genuinely
yeah.
talented person.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I come from the land of the internet. I did well. It's funny because like I if you might say like, oh, you might know this guy from something, it's either me doing impressions on the internet, or it's, if you've ever watched The Bachelor, it's that. I did 1 season of The Bachelor Presents Listen to Your Heart, which is awful.
So it was like
name.
a special edition.
It was a music edition,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like a bunch of musicians dating each other, but then also it was like The Voice at one point, which hurt my soul. I am less of a person now.
Yeah.
They took that away from me.
Did you do musical impressions on The Bachelor?
No, thank God they didn't make me do that. I thought all they were going to do was make me do that. They actually did in my little, like, hey, I'm Danny, I'm 27, and I'm from California. You know, like the little intro blurb everyone has.
Oh, yeah.
They made me do impressions, and I was like, God, please take that out.
You should have done that. You should have done that more. You would have done well.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, this guy wants love, for sure, yeah.
Every
She's
time
like,
I see
like
those,
Danny.
I like Sean's overcompensating by putting the whole mic in his mouth now.
Yeah.
Spent 8 episodes not even
Yeah.
putting it anywhere near his face, and now he's fucking deep throating.
He's wired
put
today.
it in
yeah.
a position that you like it, and then don't touch it.
I
Because every
think
time
he
you touch
found-
it picks it up on the microphone.
That's true, yeah.
He found what he likes, and it's touchy.
You know what?
Yeah.
It does. I like the way it feels in my hands.
Oh.
I would say that one does make less noise. It's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
that we had to change the mic because like Sean was just a child about it. We were like, no, you use this mic because it's
Yeah.
Play
safer
with it.
for you.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I had something really important
Oh, yeah,
I was
sorry.
going to say.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Before
you
we
wanna say,
started
Sean?
making fun of
we
you.
apologize.
Is that I imagine Danny on a date on the musical Bachelor, and she's like, "Oh, I like Danny, but he kept doing Creed impersonations all the time." Just the entire.
Get this, babe. Yeah. Over and over again.
Imagine
yeah.
writing that song and coming up with one little widdly wow.
Yeah.
He goes, and then he never changed it the whole
Oh, yeah, it just
song.
goes through the whole time, yeah, and it's a hit. You know, it's a hit. We all know it's great. But yeah, it's fun because like I most get known for other impressions too. Like for some reason, Fetty Wap is like one of my most popular. It's, like,
Really?
really weird. Yeah.
I'm too old. I
I
literally
haven't
wouldn't
heard
even.
that name in forever.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like 2015, 2016 was when he was huge. And then also my favorite to do now is Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy's mom, Carl Weezer. So now I'm going to do the rest of the episode like this.
Please don't
So
do
anyway,
that.
Hereditary is this really scary movie. Yeah, all right, anyway.
Yeah, you do the synopsis for Hereditary.
Oh my gosh.
And that-
It's
please
so
do not
she
do-
dies in the yeah. Okay, yeah.
Please do not do
I had to
that.
grab my inhaler. It was so scary. That's his
Kill us
thing is
all,
he
dude.
has asthma. But yeah, anyway. I'm Danny. Nice to meet you all. Appreciate you guys for having me here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I closed my eyes during that, dude. I forgot you were here.
I'm sitting
I
next
thought
to,
it was
I'm
only.
sitting next to an
I thought it
animated
was
character.
only. I thought it was Carl.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. That's so kind, Sean.
Sean was like, stop, turn that TV off. We're recording a podcast over here.
When you guys asked why are we only going to do one movie with a guest, this is
This is why.
This
yeah.
is why, because it's going to take us
I
forever.
also have ADHD, and I didn't take my Vyvanse today, so, you know.
Hell yeah, dude.
I
Yeah.
get it. This entire studio is due to me hyper-focusing. That's
there you
what
go.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
So today's
Love it.
episode, we are talking about whenever we have a guest on, we decided that the best course of action would be to let the guest pick whatever movie they feel is
Oh,
closest
I got to
them.
pick this. I didn't even
Yeah,
realize I got to pick
yeah,
this. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. I thought you guys were just naturally going to get to this movie because it's a banger.
I think at some point we would have, but
Yeah.
like it just made sense because you had said it was your favorite
Oh, yeah.
one, and I was
It's
like,
my
oh, we
fave,
might as
yeah.
well go.
Yeah.
Well, and after we get done with the movie, we're going to talk about some of the fun facts and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But we also want to touch on, before we hop into the movie, I wanted to ask you a couple of things just to kind of like
yeah.
get everybody into the
Sure.
sense of like, because we have a kind of a mix of like our personal fans because we all are comedians in some way,
Yeah.
and content creators, I guess, in a way, podcasters. What's your podcast called?
Oh,
You
it's
have your
called
own?
Threesus with a
Threesus?
Z.
Okay, yeah.
It's just me and my two buds. Our entire goal is just to entertain you for 30 minutes. I wish we had more of a mission statement, but it's just poop jokes and stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's called comedy, people.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. But yeah.
Fucking culture yourself.
Well, because we do cater to a horror crowd
Yeah.
that enjoys comedy. I feel like that's our nexus point.
Of course.
And also bringing people over into horror that might not normally consider that to be their thing. I think Sean's a perfect example of
Oh,
that,
yeah.
where like he's kind of. I mean, Sean has seen more horror movies in the last 2 months than he's
Your
probably seen in his
entire
I'd
entire
say
life.
my entire
Jeez.
life,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
I've
And
probably
are you
seen,
better
like,
for it
4
or yeah?
before that? I'm bet. Yeah. I mean,
I can't sleep at night.
I don't know
but,
about
yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say, like, I have more scary thoughts.
yeah.
More vivid nightmares.
Yeah.
My
But I-
paralysis demon has finally taken form, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from my
I think
sleep
I'm on
paralysis
my,
demon,
but it does help me keep on my toes. at
Yeah.
those,
Sean's not gonna get murdered anymore. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I would say
Yeah.
I like horror movies, but even like after starting the podcast, it's like my consumption level of horror has like doubled. You know, because we're constantly watching like 3 movies every like couple days. And
that's great.
I did mushrooms the other day, and I was just like, I can't stop thinking about murder. This is not. I don't want this in my head.
Real bad trip. Real
That's
bad
not
trip.
supposed to be mushroom.
I'm supposed to be thinking about life.
Yeah.
So I did want to, before we jump into the movie, I did want to talk about your relationship to horror.
Totally.
What was the first horror movie you remember seeing?
I've actually never seen a horror movie. No, I'm just kidding. I just lied to you guys completely about everything. Yeah.
I actually
what's
thought this was
Hereditary?
Hitch. It was actually in the movie.
Hereditary. No, so my first horror movie that I actually genuinely remember was the one that freaked me out the most. It was Sixth Sense.
Oh yeah.
Which I guess you can definitely call it a horror movie.
Yeah.
What's weird is like I think there were some distinct scenes that scared me, but more than anything, I remember I used to go to Catholic school, which is kind of I'm not Catholic.
Perfect. That's the perfect setup for horror.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you,
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You used to go to Catholic school,
Yeah, we're
Sean?
gonna high five.
Oh.
Is that
Did you go to Catholic
is that
school,
a
or-
thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How
So
long
did
you?
I.
How do we? Wait.
Really?
Stop. the
Yeah.
podcast.
You all went to Catholic school?
Yeah, I went to
What about you,
Catholic
Zach?
school from.
Step the fuck up.
No.
Yeah.
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 I went to
for that.
Catholic school from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Okay,
and then when
cool.
I moved to
Oh.
Florida, I went to public school.
Okay, I did K through 8, so
Okay.
fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Wait, what do we got?
Oh. Wait, I thought you meant the like after school Catholic.
I knew it.
school.
I fucking
No,
Oh.
that's
I knew
Sunday
it.
school.
That's
you
you mean
fucking-
Sunday school or yeah?
No, it's
No,
like
but
an
it wasn't
after-school
on
program.
Sunday.
No, it's like an after school
like-
program.
You had
Oh,
a,
okay,
you went
okay.
to a Catholic after school program.
Yeah.
Did you grow up Catholic?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I went to a Southern Baptist.
I'm sorry
after-school
for
program.
sharing that with. Oh, you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You at least understood the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I went to Catholic school, and we had like a little like middle school night where we all like got together and watched The Sixth Sense, and I like walked out of the room because I was like scared, and I kept hearing people. The thing that scared me the most was hearing all my friends screaming in the other room, and just in my head I was like, "What are they screaming at?
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
god, it's probably so scary!" And I slept in my parents' bed for like a week.
Yeah.
And I'll admit it, I was like 13 and probably too old to like be that scared by The Sixth Sense, but
Yeah.
you know, it freaked me the hell out. And then I probably didn't watch another horror movie for forever until my friend convinced me to watch like all the Paranormal Activities, which was an awful idea again, because it scared
In a
the shit
row?
out of me. No, like probably like 4 in a row, and then Paranormal Activity 5 was coming
jeez.
out, and then
Yeah.
we went and saw that, and it was funny though because it's like I think as it kept progressing, similar to I think a lot of franchises, it definitely just the quality just got worse
For
and
sure.
worse.
Oh, yeah.
And we knew we were going to be disappointed when we left the theater, but we were like,
You do it anyway.
whatever, you know, yeah.
Well,
like,
because the
I don't know,
budgets were so low, and
Yeah.
I think that was the goal, was just keeping the budgets low,
Sure.
while getting a big turnout, and it's just
Yeah.
progressively got
Right.
worse and worse.
I
Which
think-
is sort of the thing we've learned from
Mhm.
horror, like Halloween figured
Yeah.
out how to make a incredible turnover
Yeah.
on like
Yeah.
$200,000.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
And then the entire next like 16 years of or 18 years of filmmaking was how do we spend $30 to make $30 million?
30 million, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because isn't I think the original Paranormal Activity is like the highest percentage grossing film of like all time, I think, because it
Is it
cost
really?
them like 10
Whoa.
grand to make.
Yeah, because
And it made like hundreds of millions of dollars. I think
Yeah.
the original, the husband and wife were paid like $500 each.
yeah.
Originally, they made more after that. But
Yeah.
like originally it was like that. It was shot in the director's house, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
I think Blair Witch might be behind that. in
Yeah,
terms
like
of-
Yeah.
right
They
there.
spent,
though,
Well,
yeah.
Blair Witch
10,000
is like kind of as far as like found footage.
Yeah, quintessential.
They ran in the woods so that Paranormal Activity could jog.
Isn't it walk to run? But
Yeah, but I was like, ran in the woods is such
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
like.
No,
I'll
it
work
was
on
worth
it.
it.
I'll
so
work
so
on
you
it.
think
I
yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You know,
So,
when,
yeah.
whenever he starts to smirk like that, you're like, all right.
Sean's thinking something, yeah. But yeah,
your desecration of the English language.
yeah. Yeah.
That was-
No, it's all good. Oh yeah, no worries. Oh, gotcha. It's
keep
okay.
up. I'll just keep up.
We're good on track.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
if you, for folks just listening, Zach just ruined the whole flow.
Yeah, Zach stepped in front of every camera before
yeah.
he grabbed his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really threw off my circadian rhythm.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
I stopped the way your body processes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, I
I'm
just
gonna be
ruined
honest.
my
I have
sleep
no
schedule.
idea what. I've never heard that word in my life.
Circadian? You've
never heard circadian
No.
Circadian biology?
Is
It's
that like
a-
is that like medieval? Is that like a medieval
Holy shit.
squadron?
No, it's like it's just the clock your body is on that, like, it's why why having a good sleep schedule is like physically good for
if
you.
you've never
you know?
seen
Yeah.
The nation of Sarcadia.
Yes.
if you've never seen
Circadian nights, bro.
Yeah.
The Sarcadian night. That sounds dope
sick,
as fuck, dude.
actually,
Yeah.
People who just actively try and advocate for good sleep schedules. The circadian nights.
By killing you.
Yeah. Sleep tight, motherfucker.
We will make
Yeah.
you sleep forever.
I love it. The circadian nights of the round table. Yeah.
We look, we search for the eternal sleep. They just come in.
Just kill themselves. Yeah. What is that? Yeah. Zach's gone now. He's just locking eyes with one of the
That's what I
cameras.
do
yeah.
when they go off. I just look
Yeah,
into that
yeah.
camera for as long as I
Pull a
can,
little
and he's
office,
never
yeah.
noticed.
Oh, really?
He has
that's
the
so
podcast.
funny.
He's never once looked in that
And
camera.
Ray never
and gone,
cuts to
"Look
that
at Zach's
camera angle.
face."
Yeah.
What makes you think I'm watching the podcast?
Yeah. He's just like, oh, this looks fine. Whatever. Yeah.
This is an awful commercial for your editing.
No, yeah. So one
Makes you
thing
think I watched your work. Okay.
I was to say like, one major thing with regards to my career with horror consumption is that it's actually probably like fairly recent on the whole.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this to you guys off the podcast. I have a pretty big blind spot for like old horror. I didn't really grow up watching any of it, and I think my fear is that old horror won't scare me like new horror does.
Yeah.
And I'm scared that I'm gonna like walk away from it being like, oh, I didn't like it. And I'll feel bad about it because it's like, but Halloween Halloween ran through the wood, or like Blair Witch ran through the woods, so that
Halloween stalked slowly
so that Hereditary could sprint.
So Hereditary can slam its head against the wall on the
attic,
ceiling.
yeah. Oh my gosh,
Well,
best scene.
I'll say this about that. I feel like what's going on now with this kind of resurgence or renaissance of horror is sort of what's happening with a lot of different art forms, which is like the culmination of years of all of these different styles of things have like created these like incredibly well made things. Like what's cool about when you watch like all the early like 1930s like when the talkies first started to be a thing, and then that evolved into like you go to like Psycho, where they're finding ways around the Hays Code to where they can like get away with doing things that are a little rougher.
Of course,
and you go into like the grindhouse films of the 70s and on into like the the boom of the 80s and then the corporatization of the 90s and 2000s, and now you're getting like everything everybody learned from all of that stuff is now like culminating in like these like perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
some of them are perfect.
Yeah. I mean, there's still stuff.
Yeah, there's some stinkers still for sure.
There's still stuff like The Nun where they're like, hey, we're gonna do, we're gonna make a 2-hour jump scare.
Yeah. Or in my opinion, well, I didn't love it, but In a Violent Nature. I don't know if you guys have seen In a Violent Nature yet, but it's. I mean, it's like artsy and stuff, but for me, it was just Walking Simulator, the movie. It's like behind, like you're following the killer, and but it's like it felt like a student film to me. I was like, no, I hate when that happens.
It's POV slasher.
That's
what it is. Yeah.
But it felt like not much happens outside. But the kills are fun though. The kills are sick.
Go ahead, Sean.
It's POV.
No,
you walk in a couple of
I just saw you ramping up.
Yeah. Sean's face.
No, the entire movie is Sean's bit where it's like it's POV. You see a young couple engaging in casual sex.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say it again.
Run that.
That's
bit
why
again.
I said it for you.
Can we roll that clip?
Let's roll that clip.
Roll that clip. Oh yeah, Sean does that though, right? Doesn't he just kind of put it on you guys to throw that clip in?
Just roll rolling the clip, but not on the main podcast, only on clips.
No, only on clips.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
He'll roll clips in the clips.
No, my goal is to never give Sean what he wants.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll see about
edging
that.
the podcast. Yeah. Sean's just constantly edging. Yeah. That's what this is. Yeah.
This is just as good.
So
I don't even need to come.
So what I think you would enjoy with going back into horror is like almost not deconstructing, but sort of like seeing all the things that have created what
I've grown
now.
to admire now. Yeah,
and then also like enjoying like the different styles of like the old school stuff, because there's so many different variations. People kind of lump horror into these, like most people when you say what do you like horror? Like what's your favorite horror movie? Whatever.
Yeah.
And people always go, I just can't with the like violence and gore.
Yeah.
And then you actually like get into the world of horror, and you're like, I mean, just a little bit that Sean has seen. I mean, it's such vastly different movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Right.
yeah.
It's, I mean, from something like Psycho to like that one Disney movie where they illegally filmed there.
Escape from Tomorrow.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like
Did you guys watch on the podcast?
they don't belong in
yeah.
the same room. Yeah, it
Fuck
was weird.
Yeah, it's
That's
nuts.
great.
We have the DVD if you want to borrow it.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's the only way you can see it. Yeah,
Really?
People have been asking, a couple people asked in the comments, like, how do you see this movie?
Yeah, you just have to buy it off Amazon.
So here's
There's no other way.
Their
You might be able
address.
to
come
buy
over
it.
and just pick it up. Yeah.
You might be able
I
to
just
buy it
doxed
from
the
Ray,
shit out
though.
of
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you could pirate it, but honestly, as a movie podcast, I don't know if you could fucking advocate for that.
Yeah.
It would be pretty ironic to like
Yeah.
to pirate a movie that was shot illegally.
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
pirate it. Pirate it. Fuck it.
Fuck it. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, they shouldn't even own their copyright. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't. Anyway,
Yeah.
so-
Honestly, it's not even worth like committing a crime to get.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's nothing groundbreaking. Yeah.
okay, so I did want to ask because I think this is always interesting. I always like to ask people what was the first thing that ever scared you. It didn't have to be a horror movie. Some people, the first thing that ever scared them, like especially my generation.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us were like left alone with like some like older cousin or something who would be like, "Hey, guess what you're watching?" And
Oh
Yeah.
for
like I
sure.
saw Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 7.
Oh, that's too
Yeah.
early. Yeah.
Way too early.
Yeah.
Friends did that to me, but with snuff films, and that fucked me up.
Yeah, I think what happened to you is abuse.
Yeah.
That's a little different.
Yeah. That's true.
But I remember like the first thing that ever like scared me was All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like
yeah.
there's
It's
like
so funny, dude.
there's just something about like
Yeah.
the late 80s early 90s animation style.
Yeah.
Like these animators would make it like kind of dark and ominous looking
Yeah.
for kids movies.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's something about that movie that just has this. I mean, number one, they're like, "Hey, are you a child? Guess what? Dogs die." And you're like, "What the fuck?
Why?
Yeah. And then they're like, "Here's dogs in the afterlife, and if there's a heaven, you know where some of the other dogs are going." And then they like show dogs in hell.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy what they were like. Guess what? You get to like try to process.
Oh my lord.
It's hard for me to answer that question though without trauma dumping.
Yeah,
It's like, what's the
Danny-
first thing that scared you?
I'm a
My
therapist.
father?
Danny,
I
how
don't-
about Danny? How about Danny?
That's okay. That's okay.
yeah, we're gonna have your own episode for that.
Oh, like Ray's a special guest.
100%, yeah.
I love that. I mean, the first two things that came to mind, very drastically different things. I remember being scared by Dumbo when they're like mistreating him in the circus or whatever. I don't know why that scared me, but it made me like sad and scared.
Go back and watch any of that animation from those early days of Disney starting to do their color animation style.
Creepy, yeah.
They have like
some spooky
super.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, similarly, Pinocchio, when motherfucker turns into a donkey or whatever, like you see the silhouette of him turning into a donkey. And I thought that was really creepy. But then I also got scared by the scene in Lord of the Rings because I was like 8 or something when it came out of Bilbo like getting that really weird face as he like is possessed by the ring and he like jumps at like Frodo for a second. He's like, give me it, whatever. And you're like, oh God. And, that scared me when I was 8. So,
It's just always interesting to see these like elements of horror that people put into.
Yeah.
It's because horror kind of gets panned as a genre a lot of times.
Yeah.
But then you like look at other movies and you're like, oh, they use like you don't always use other parts of like different genres and certain films.
Yeah.
But like horror is kind of like it's all over the place. Like,
it's totally.
It's like
SpongeBob even,
Yeah.
Nosferatu shows up in a SpongeBob episode and I was like, oh, it was Nosferatu the whole time. And he's just there like turning on and off the light. I was like, God, he's kind of scary looking,
Did you grow up watching Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Oh my God, yeah.
It's just straight up horror for children.
Yeah, and because
fucking
it's supposed to be like life from the perspective of a dog.
Yeah.
And how it's like everything's anxiety inducing,
terrifying,
but it's also it's like that's why like Eustace and Muriel never move because it's not actually happening to them. It's just what the dog thinks is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Creepy stuff.
And that's why they
Absolutely.
live in the middle of nowhere, because he doesn't see anything past their property.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's profound actually.
I've never seen that.
You've
so
never
that
watched
sounds-
Courage the Cowardly
yeah.
Dog?
Oh, man,
Oh, dude.
I'm old, I'm old, yeah.
I tell you.
I mean, it's funny because
I mean, we're not that far of age, but I feel like that
It's
Yeah.
you
enough.
might have been already old enough.
Yeah.
that
Well,
you
I
give
also
a
had
shit.
that whole like you have to grow up now thing from from the older
It's like
friends that
trauma
I had.
dump, Zach.
We'll skip it for this one.
yeah. There's a lot of those like weird like theories about like even SpongeBob has like the fun like fan theory that it's like I know we're detracting from stuff, but it's like how the reason why all the animals can talk in SpongeBob is because they exist in Bikini Bottom, which is supposedly underneath Bikini Atoll, which was one of the nuclear like testing locations during World War II.
That's right, yeah.
And so the radiation like seeps down into the ocean and made these like sea creatures be able to talk, and that's
Yeah.
like the theory behind SpongeBob, which I'm like, oh, it's kind of fun, kind of dark.
That's
You
pretty
know,
good.
yeah. I actually love like those, like there's like a creepy Peter Pan theory where he's like a child trafficker, and you're like, what the fuck, dog? But yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. Sean,
Sean's like, don't worry, I got this Celsius
Yeah,
in me. I'll
no,
be
you're just
straight.
like logistically that makes sense. I could see, I could see Peter doing that.
I mean, he
Yeah.
kind of does. He just like steals away
Yeah.
Wendy from the real world and has
Oh.
these little lost boys.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
you don't need your parents.
yeah,
Why don't you come live on my ranch?
Wait, actually, that one just
Yeah.
sounds real. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of I don't know. They're really fun to read into, but yeah. And then all that has led to me recently. I think the reason why I got into a lot of horror lately is because my previous roommate loves horror, and he showed me a lot of it. But also, I have AMC A List now, which is the membership for AMC. Yeah, and so I see like 2 movies a month now, and
Nice.
I usually try and every year now we're looking for like a great horror movie that's come out, and so far this year I've unfortunately not watched one that I was like, hell yeah about. Sadly, the one that was hyped up the most, Longlegs, which I talked to Ray a little bit about. Longlegs was unfortunately disappointing in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie, but it was just hyped. Also,
Yeah.
I just want to, as I'm like now kind of got like a little talking space, I just
Hmm.
could not get over the thought of like Peter Pan being a like real life pimp. And there's like, what about my parents? Fuck your parents, baby. We finna fly. All right.
And that's how we talked in the originally. Yeah. In the original stories, that's how we
We
talked.
finna
Yeah.
fly, baby.
Yeah. Thank you, Ray,
Okay.
for your contribution.
Yeah. I had to say that, or it was
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
on my mind for the
Oh,
next
of course,
hour.
of course, yeah. During Hereditary talk, you're just like,
Yeah.
hey guys, I got to pause real quick. Let's
We
go
put a
rewind
flag,
like 30
baby.
minutes. Yeah.
Where you
No,
got-
and
yeah.
we could all feel that. The air feels lighter. Now that you-
Yeah.
I feel less tense. I needed to get
Yeah,
it
a weight
off
has been
my-
lifted off all of our
Yeah.
shoulders, right? Thank you. Yeah.
Right when you
okay.
said it,
What
I
was
like,
the
oh,
question?
thank God.
Yeah. What was the question?
Thank
Yeah, I don't
fuck.
know. Yeah.
Thank God he got that out.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Well, we can talk some more about extra stuff. Oh, before we hop into to Hereditary,
Yeah.
You're invited to hang out with us after. We're gonna watch Friday the 13th if you
Oh,
want to hang
shit.
Yeah,
out. So we're just
and
gonna
possibly what I know what you did last summer.
yeah, we might do both.
there you go,
but,
there you go.
but yeah, if you want to chill, but up
I
to-
it's funny because we're like literally on the podcast. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have I'm seeing Deadpool and Wolverine with my girlfriend.
There you
after
go.
This, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I
as long as
I'm-
you're watching movies,
Yes.
that's all we
Oh, yeah,
care
yeah,
about.
Yeah. And it's a good one. I've already seen it.
Sean, what is
Yeah.
happening over
Danny,
there, dude?
break it down for the folks at home. What's your schedule look like this week?
Yeah, you just wanted to get into the whole thing. Yeah.
Sean has
yeah,
been
yeah.
two things have been happening to Sean over the course of this podcast. He's been getting lower and lower in the frame,
I
and he's
just-
also been getting his shorts have been getting higher and higher.
I mean, mine are too.
At,
honestly,
at
yeah,
some
yeah.
point, he'll be laying flat with his balls hanging out. Like that's
and that's
his
what we all
ultimate
paid to
goal.
see. Yeah.
Okay, I'm composing myself.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, now you get to relax again because our buddy Danny is gonna.
Oh my gosh, am I gonna recap Hereditary real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
so,
you
do
get to
it.
do the synopsis.
so
Yeah.
you don't
Synopsis.
So
Yeah,
you do not have to get into like super specific parts
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
It's more just like if you were to like, if somebody was like, I'm never gonna watch that movie.
I actually literally just did this with our friend Ben. Actually, he was like,
Okay, great.
I think I want you to explain Hereditary to me because I've
Awesome.
heard it's really good. And I was like, all right, here you go.
Perfect dry run.
Yeah.
So obviously spoilers. You know.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
haven't watched Hereditary, go
Please
watch
do
it.
it.
Maybe
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
a
you
friend.
should.
Sean is actually had to watch it a second time because he only got about 10 or 15 minutes in the first time.
It was about like 20.
And were you like
Yeah.
disturbed, or was it like, oh my gosh, this is a really distributing scene?
I realized
happening
it was
on
I
the-
feel
actually
like it was
right.
almost 40.
No, I realized it was actually right when she lost her head.
That's what's happening on the screen right to Sean's left.
Wow.
It's the scene. Yeah, right here. Ready? And yeah,
I saw that.
This is not
Pause
on camera
the movie.
at all.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just sound like idiots. Yeah, that's true.
I saw her lose her head, pause the movie, and was like, "Did you guys see that?" And all my friends were asleep. I was like, "All right, fuck this."
You're like, I can't watch this by myself. Yeah.
But
That's fair.
yeah, what besides that, you can
Well, so for your listening pleasure, Dana's going to give you the rundown of Hereditary.
So Hereditary is about a family. Now, correct, I don't actually remember their last name. If
Doesn't
you guys,
matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
No.
Tony Collette's the
Satiny
mother.
or something? Satiny?
What?
Satony? Was that it?
Satiny?
Who?
Or was
Oh,
that
wow.
just the word on the wall.
That was just a word on the wall. I think.
Oh, okay,
Never
yeah.
mind.
There is a family in which the grandmother recently passes, I believe, right? And the I just tell an entirely different story synopsis. You guys are like, wait, what's going on? Yeah. And the grandmother recently passes, and this family is grieving her loss. Specifically, Toni Collette's character, the mother, right? And she's also a miniature house maker. I guess she makes money for it somehow.
Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah.
I think she's an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does like scale models. And
Yes,
stuff.
yeah, and it's really cool because they have a couple of shots where they kind of slow zoom into the miniature and it turns into the shot itself, which is really sick.
Yeah.
Because she has one of their house, I think, right, which is supposed to kind of be a bit foretelling. So there's this family, and the grandmother dies. I don't even know, I don't remember what happens there, but I don't know, creepy shit starts to happen pretty shortly after, but you kind of get that understanding for how the family dynamic sort of is, and the little girl whose name I also don't remember, she has I'm skipping ahead so far, but she has like an allergy to peanuts, I believe, right? And it's something that's you're made painfully aware of multiple times within whatever. And her older brother wants to take her to, or is going to a party, and her mom's like, "Hey, bring your little sister to this fucking high school party," which is also kind of a weird thing to be
super chill.
Yeah. They go to this party, and well, I think originally you also kind of find out that this girl's there's something a little off about the daughter, right?
Yeah.
She's a little bit of a weirdo.
She's a little weird. She does this little mouth click thing or whatever that kind of happens throughout. And she also, I think, at a certain moment, there's a shot of her in class, right, where she looks outside and there's a bird that comes in and hits the window of the class, and all the kids are like, "Oh, what the fuck?" All the kids say that. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
all the elementary school kids.
Yeah,
go,
what the fuck? Yeah. And then, but she ends up going outside, and she takes the bird and cuts off its head with a pair of scissors. Pretty sick. And you're like, "Oh,
like you do."
She's not like the other girls. But yeah, she's fun and quirky. And you're kind of like, there's something about this grandmother's passing that has now kind of started something odd within this family's life. And and then feel free to chime in, you guys, if I'm missing anything. By the way.
She does go to sleep in the treehouse.
Oh yes, she sleeps in the treehouse that they have out there in their yard. This also takes place in somewhere that's fairly remote. Is it Washington or Oregon or something like that? Or it's
I don't know if
I saw a lot of mountains around.
Yeah, and they don't really have a lot of neighbors per se.
Yeah, so it felt like kind of
Classic
like
horror
a
trope.
valley town, like a small valley.
Yeah, totally. And so you kind of get the feeling that there's something off about the daughter, and I believe you start to see this kind of symbol sort of pop up a couple of times. I don't remember all of the different places it pops up.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. And you're like, "Oh, what's that? That's weird." Oh, whatever. And then so the son, Alex Wolff, played by Alex Wolff, brings her to the party reluctantly, and then kind of doesn't really pay much attention to her because he's like, angsty teen,
Yeah.
fucking do whatever. And then
Very bad Big Brother vibes.
Yes, very
though.
bad Big Brother. And then she gets a hold of some cake. The cake's got some nuts in it, and you can see them, I believe, originally. You could see them preparing the cake and I think crushing nuts or something. Yeah. And you're like, there's some peanuts up in there.
There's no surprise. You know what's coming.
Yeah. And then I mean, the surprise, her death's for sure. Yeah. So she,
that's where they throw you off. You're like, oh no, she's going to have this terrible thing happen. And then it's so
she's gonna
much
suffocate,
worse.
and it's so much worse. Yeah. So she experiences an allergic reaction. Her throat closes up. almost immediately. Well, she like walks up to where her brother is, and he's like smoking weed with some friends or whatever. And she's like, I can't breathe or whatever. And then he like immediately like carries her out of the party, puts her in the car. They drive back. He's like, oh my gosh, we got to get you back, whatever. And she's clawing at air like out of the window or whatever. And then I think, is there like a deer or something that walks into the road? The scene just happened. I should remember, but something.
There was something in the road that made him swerve.
That causes him to swerve, and he swerves so hard that he drives right up next to a pole, and her with her head out slams the pole and instantly beheads her. Fucking insane. I love it. That's that dark shit.
And extra brutal because, you know, the old rules about horror were like, it was always a bit much if you kill any kids or animals.
Yeah.
And this one, they're like, listen, don't get attached to anything or anyone.
No.
I feel like that rule has gone out the window just mainly because it's like sometimes we're just looking for the most jarring fucking.
Yeah. Like it is max disturbing, and I kind of dig it for some reason. Like, I'm a very optimistic person, but I love when something makes me feel like there's no hope for humanity. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm like, God, I love how many sad emotions I feel right now, you know? Yeah.
It's a challenge for your optimism.
And oh my gosh. Yeah. And then one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is what happens afterward. He's Alex Wolff's character, the son, is so unbelievably shocked by what just happened. He just kind of keeps driving, leaves her head there, goes back home, just lays in bed, and then you just kind of get this like quick shot of him laying in bed. It turns to like from night to day, and then you just hear Toni Collette's character walk out to the car, see her beheaded daughter, and then just freak out, and you just see as he's just laying in bed, just being like, well, all right, my life's fucking over. What just happened? Yeah.
And then the slow burn of the film quickly changes pace.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's this, I'm like, Toni Collette's so good in this, where there's the scene where she's just like, her husband's like comforting her, but she's just like, no, I want to die, please, I want to die, you know, whatever, which is like just such a real way to react to your kid fucking dying. And then, and Alex Wolff's character is just he's not present at all after that happens. What happens immediately after that, I don't remember, but I'm like trying my best to, I'm going through so slowly, by the way. This is like not even, Oh, it's playing right now. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. It's my cheat sheet right here. Yeah.
So while they're grieving, the mom starts to, instead of killing herself, she goes and says, "I'm going to go watch a movie," but then she goes to a meeting for
grief counseling.
Grief group therapy type thing. Yeah. And she meets a woman there.
Yes.
And that woman gives her a number.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then after that,
because she's like, "Hey, my son recently died too."
Dude, that scene is so intense. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. And then she the same woman, I think, like reaches out and is like, "Hey, by the way, I found a way to like communicate with my dead son. You should try it with your daughter." And she's like, "Oh, I don't know." But she, I think, reluctantly is like, "Okay, fine." Because I think she probably gets to a certain point of desperation where she's, I don't know, they have that really heated exchange at the dinner table between the whole family, and it's absolutely nuts. But
all I do is care, and you keep that face on your fucking face.
Yeah, that's an incredible line. Yeah. So she ultimately does give in to communicating with this woman and trying to like, they go over to her place, and they actually do have a proper like little seance thing where she does summon her son, the spirit of her son, right? Does she then summon her own daughter there, or later? She's like, she does it later. I think,
she later, because of that, she's later, she's having these dreams and visions.
Yes.
And of her, like, killing her son and all this stuff. So eventually she gets the family together and is like, we need to have this seance.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's to communicate with her daughter. Yeah. But it's actually opening up this portal, or not portal, but this gateway to be able to let in the demon Payman.
Payman, yes. Yeah.
Because they're not specifically, they never really like nail down like whether it is Charlie. Mm-hmm. It was just Charlie, it was writing in Charlie's book, but then it's also breaking shit in the house. So yeah.
But then her voice does come through though at a certain point, right? Like Toni Collette, like Charlie's voice comes out of Toni Collette's mouth while they're doing that kind of shit and whatever, and it's like, "Mom, I'm scared," or whatever, like that, like sort of stuff. And
but there is this.
Stop moving the arm.
There is this. There's this like thing in like a lot of demonology that like demons take the form of children.
Yeah, right.
So like I think that's a play on the idea of like this is this demon is kind of mocking the family by doing it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, I think Toni Collette's like fully at this point just giving into this, like, no, but like it's all real. Like and her husband is like slowly distancing himself because he's like, this is, she's really taking this
Steve.
death. Like, so yeah, Steve.
Yeah. Poor Steve.
Yeah. And then at a certain point, essentially, she tries to convince him of something or other, but with the book, but then he like throws the book in the fireplace and then immediately catches on fire and burns
Well, she
alive.
threw the book.
She threw the book in the
because
fireplace.
he didn't want to do it because he was like I'm not gonna add on to your delusions.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, dude, come on, just yes and your wife. Be a fucking supportive
Don't be such
husband,
a no butt,
dude.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
He was truly like, I want to like kind of like see his side of things of like, yeah, he's kind of getting fed up. His daughter just died and stuff like that. But also, man, he was the least supportive.
Yeah.
Like it was just so like, dude, how about like fucking just play along for a little bit. Play along for a little bit.
Yeah. Pretty sad.
Yeah.
So he burns to a pile of ash.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And then the son, comes downstairs and finds that.
Oh yeah.
Not great.
No.
And then do you remember what happens to the mom?
She chokes herself with piano wire from the ceiling. I remember that, but I'm trying to think of like the sequence of events here.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
Cut her head off
She's
with
in the
piano
corner
wire?
sawing off her own head with a piano wire.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I believe at a certain point, Alex Wolff, he's been experiencing some weird shit too, because like there's that scene in the classroom where like the one that they put in the trailer that freaked me the fuck out, and I was like, yes. When his like hand goes up and he does the weird thing and his eyes start to go crazy, and then he bangs his head against the desk, and I'm like, oh hell yeah. He's fucked up too.
And right before all that happens, the mom is starting to figure out that there's this like cult. That her mom is there's this
the connection between her mother, the grandmother, and the woman who has been communicating with her that taught her about the contacting.
She figures out that her grandmother is the queen of this
cult.
Yeah. So the mom saws her head off with a fucking piano wire.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But I think even she starts to do that, right? But then like Alex Wolff runs up into like the attic, right, and closes the attic door behind him or something to like get away from his mom, and then that's when we had like the whole crazy thing where it sounds like someone's knocking on it, and then it cuts to her like upside down banging her head against the fucking attic door, and you're like, oh, it's so good, and then
very Evil Dead.
Yeah, and then I think once Alex Wolff's up in the attic, that's when so I keep calling him Alex Wolff because I genuinely don't remember the character's name.
Yeah, it's Peter. It's Peter, but it doesn't matter.
His character's name is Alec. Oh, it's Peter. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's up in the attic, and there's like people up there, right? Or there's like a and they're all naked, or like people are naked. Ari Aster loves naked people, don't we all? But I think he gets kind of freaked out by all, and then he
dove out the window.
Yeah, he jumps out the window. Ultimately, I think to his death, right? Or does he die? Or does
he doesn't.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't die.
So when he dives out the window, that's when his body's weakened to the point where.
Oh yeah, you see the little like aura kind of.
Oh, I thought he died, and then that brought him back to life as the new person, but no.
Well, it's.
I never even looked at it like that.
He doesn't actually die, but that's the correct sentiment.
Yeah,
he's weakened to the point where the demon can like take over.
Now that everything's been prepared for such, he can be because the original, basically how it all boils down to in Hereditary is that there's this cult that believes in, I guess rightfully so, the god Payman, and Payman's whole goal is to come back to life in human form or embody a human, and they I guess chose Peter to be the conduit for Payman, specifically through I think the genetics of everything. I remember even something about the grandma wanting to specifically breastfeed the daughter or her granddaughter, which was fucking weird. I'm trying to remember like why that was the case. Something about needing to prepare because she was part of the sacrifice as well, right? Like her head and everything. Like everything that happened in terms of all the deaths was all part of what needed to happen for Payman to come back in Peter's body.
You have to make sacrifices.
Yeah, and then also the treehouse sort of thing. You kind of, I think Payman he either walks up or he fucking floats up, or I think no, he floats up.
Or
Yeah,
the mom
yeah.
floats up.
Yeah, they all float. And then up there, you just see a nice circle of naked people who are all part of this cult. Who some of them kind of showed themselves at different times, including the woman and some creepy ass motherfucker dude who just like smiles at all the characters and stuff. And then like, yeah, ultimately you just find that this cult was successful in their endeavors in bringing Payman back. And I think it ends with all hail Payman, all hail Payman. And you see him just kind of smile. Alex Wolff's character, Peter Payman,
So this was, and before I start talking a bunch of shit, this was the same director as Midsommar, right?
Yes, correct. Ari Aster,
So
same
there's
writer,
a couple
writer,
things that I noticed about this film that like overlap with Midsommar.
Absolutely,
that is like very much a directing style of his. The treehouse, another triangle-shaped barn-like.
Yeah, and there's lots of triangle shapes in the film.
In the film,
like
he's also really good with the like as whoever's like his cinematographer, really good at the like the natural framing. As far as like in these really beautiful shots. And then there's one scene in particular that is like almost a replica scene of a scene in Midsommar, and it's the scene where like the mom finds out that the daughter just died. It's the same. It's very similar to Midsommar, where the girl just found out Danny just finds out her mom just died. And they do this thing where they almost like synchronize the weird synth sound to like her crying, which like starts to like this like kind of like montage of scenes afterwards. But it's just such a uncomfortable feeling that it generates. It's just like,
it's very disturbing. There's a lot of like you just feel an overwhelming sense of dread when you watch an Ari Aster horror movie for sure. And I think that's what I love about it is because I think it also is simultaneously very scary. Like there are a lot of moments in Hereditary where I was like, oh fuck. And specifically it's cool because it's like Toni Collette, the mother, you do not expect her to be kind of the thing you're most scared of ultimately. But you end up, being that way. And I think I think one of the reasons why it made sense to me when somebody kind of mentioned this was that I think one of the reasons why Hereditary stands out to me is because it is almost like a family drama first, disguised as like a horror film, where it uses horror as like a vehicle, but all in all is it's a family drama, which I think means that there's like also just a lot more like substance to it. There's like a story that is told that has like meaning outside of ooh spooky woo, which has its own merit as well. But
and Ari Aster even said he wrote this originally he started the process of writing the script around this as like this family drama, and then he just found his way to making it horror.
And this is another thing. I think me and Zach talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it in the pod, but it's like a lot of modern horror is starting to become more like emotional and like mental health driven, where it's just like no, these are people dealing with certain things. And the horror elements are things that they're dealing with on top of it. But like the movies themselves are about like just like the fucked up things they're going through. Like and they're both movies about grief, but one's a breakup movie, the other with Midsommar, and then the other Hereditary is a family drama. So it's like the horror is almost coming in after the fact. And but what you're really afraid of in these movies is not necessarily the cult or the cults. It's more about like that just uneasy emotional vulnerability. And then being stuck in that situation.
Totally. Yeah. I want to know Sean's thoughts on all this.
Yeah, the real horror were the friends we made along the way.
That's the shit that sticks with you, Yeah, well, Sean, you liked it though, right? Like Hereditary, because you'd never seen it before. Well, other than I guess the first 40 minutes, and then we're like, I gotta go, and then you stopped watching.
Yeah, I had seen the whole movie. It was nice. I was scared. Honestly,
it's a creeper.
It was throughout. Like, there was a little, like you said, those synths. I got goosebumps a couple times.
Yeah.
My friend Matt said like when he watched it in theaters, he said he went home after and he couldn't. He had to leave his house. He was like, I went up my second, like to the second floor, and he was just like, it was all dark up there, and he like couldn't get the light switch on or whatever, and he was just like, well,
I'm done.
Nope.
Yeah.
Couldn't find his light switch.
Yeah,
was like,
totally.
We'll come back later.
I think the fun of it too is that I know that Ari Aster likes to kind of force you to sort of sit on it sometimes. Like they like he like the like there's just a long, way too unnecessarily long shot of just the daughter's decapitated head getting eaten by like flies and stuff. And you're like,
yeah.
Wow, you really want us to look at this, don't you? You know, it's the same with like the Stupa scene in Midsommar, where it's like, you know, you just watch the dude fucking jump off and not die, and then they just crush his head over and over with the hammer. Until, and you're
so
like,
long.
oh my gosh, you know, and they just kind of force you to watch it, and you're like, yep,
yeah.
this is disturbing.
I love that like, he does this thing where like he'll show like a very traumatic situation, and then like kind of focalize on like one of the little details, and then keep bringing that detail over and over again. So like for Midsommar, it was the flashing lights.
Yes.
And then you see the flashing lights throughout the entire movie of like the suicide thing.
Yeah.
And then this one, it was the flies.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right. Yeah.
He kept bringing the flies back in.
Yeah. God, because it's so annoying. Yeah.
So we'll do some fun facts and stuff you might have missed.
Let's hear it.
You know.
Ooh. I do have a question about the plot, but I'll wait till later.
He says as he moves the mic. He goes,
Away from his vape.
I do have a question about the plot.
Do it now. Do it now. All right?
Okay.
That's a perfect transition into some of the stuff we're going to talk about.
What happened to the mom? Why did she become like that? Though, was she possessed?
Yeah, I think she becomes possessed.
Yeah, I think the death
she
of
was
the
the one
grandmother triggers it all. Like, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of the
Well, and she opened herself up to it through the
The seances.
seance.
Yeah. That kind of okay.
Yeah.
Was she the only other one besides the son at the end that was basically getting possessed, or was like?
Well,
do you think
the daughter
dad,
was
the daughter.
too as well?
Oh, the daughter.
Charlie
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
So
The dad
everybody
was-
but the dad, because the dad wasn't like genetically a part of it. He was the only one who was like not. Their blood was
True.
not.
Oh yeah.
Flowing through him.
He
hopefully.
was the unfortunate bystander. In this whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's the
So the
worst
demon
death,
was possessing Charlie originally, but Charlie had to die in order for the son to get possessed.
Right.
Because the demon wanted a male host.
Yeah, it can't just jump. It's got to be able to.
Yeah.
I thought that's why, like, too, her the mom's brother died or something. I was like, ooh, is he like supposed to be the host or something?
There it is.
Yeah.
Really?
And well, they even reference that that he said he had dissociative personality disorder or whatever. They said he was like schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And then they said his reason for killing himself was, my sister keeps trying to put people in me.
Oh yeah.
Like, so this guy like gets chalked up to like he's this, you know, unwell dude.
But it's like,
and the whole time he's like, no, my sister runs a cult.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring back a fucking demon.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that, please.
Yeah. But obviously no one's gonna believe me. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He
So
just wanted to live his life.
Don't you hate when that happens? Hey,
when your
don't you
sister's
hate?
just like, you know, hey, have this demon inside you, and you're like,
I feel like there's
I don't
room for a
want-
prequel there.
yeah.
a what?
A prequel.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, dude. Because like, so this is the other part that's super interesting, where they touch on it throughout the movie, but they're not, you know, obviously it's a family drama and you're focusing on this family, and it would be unnecessary to like go outside of that for the story.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is a great idea, because at the funeral, in the very beginning of the funeral, Toni Collette's character, she says, it's so great to see so many people come out and be here to celebrate my mom. But she refers to them as strangers.
Yeah.
And then you realize at the end of the movie, you're like, oh, all of these people were the ones in the fucking treehouse.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
It's the cult is at her funeral.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, who are these people? Because they were estranged, and the mom only started coming back around when she had a daughter.
Yeah.
Because that's when she was like, she couldn't. They had an estranged relationship, so she couldn't do everything she wanted to do with the son, because they wanted Payman wants to come back in a male's body, like be this like
fucking sexist Payman. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
come on, Payman. Get with the times, Payman, you piece of shit.
Times, yeah.
I mean, is he sexist or is he just reading the room? He's like, I'm not gonna get very far in a woman's body in this world.
Yeah. He's like, well, men are treated better, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe I should. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Yeah, he's just.
I'm not saying.
He's a realist. Yeah.
There's some sexism to it, sure, but I feel like I feel like he's just like kind of laying down to the patriarchy is what he's doing.
I mean, I feel
especially
like
if he's a male god, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like a demon from Forever
demon,
would probably not be super progressive.
A demon from Forever. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good horror movie name. A demon.
You know, women
forever.
can't vote in hell.
Oh my god. What do you vote for? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This might be more sexist. I feel like they would though. I feel like God was the sexist one.
Maybe.
Because he was
Let's
the
talk
one
about
like
that,
you're gonna have to fucking be.
Oh, fun fact about this movie: it couldn't happen because there's no God.
Take that, Christians. Yeah.
I love when people pick apart fictional things by going, actually in real life, and you're like, well, this is in real life.
Like they just don't know how to suspend their disbelief. In the slightest. And you're like, come on, man, boo. Yeah, they're like, Harry Potter is stupid.
Yeah, but
like, oh, come on.
Sometimes there are there's these genre of horror movies that are like clearly like Christian themed, where it's just like I don't want to. Fucking make me root for the priests right now? Like, come on, dude.
You know what priests have done historically?
Yeah,
Come on.
How many moves did he have before this church?
Yeah. Oh my god.
What other cities did he live in?
Like the Conjuring movies are straight up that. They're straight up that because everything Ed and Lorraine Warren were doing was geared up towards like getting people into church.
Yeah, but I also like I do really enjoy. I mean, we were talking about like with the Catholic school stuff. Like I love how many parallels there are between religion and horror. Like it's so caked into religion. You know, like the devil being one of the biggest villains in horror is, you know, it's kind of sick though.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of fucking cool.
And it's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Well, and as we discover many times over, the real villains tend to be
the friends that we made along the way.
A wise man once said that.
What was his name, Sean? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's literally his name.
Yeah.
The real villains tend to be the people because a lot of times people get they get so worried about these like phenomenon of things, but then the horror they do to each other tends to be like cabin fever. You know, there's this flesh eating bacteria, and like instead of everybody going like, okay, how do we handle this reasonably, they fucking kill a stranger.
Like, ew, gross.
Oops.
Oopsies.
So fun stuff in the classroom scene in the beginning when they're talking about fate, and there's this really interesting thing that they do where they're discussing Hercules, right? And they're talking about how if the characters had been paying attention to what was going on, they would have been able to see these like foreboding things coming. And the girl in the beginning who's talking about all that, she's like kind of describing, she goes, it's literally like if they had literally paid attention, they would literally understand what's happening. And they kind of make her sound like, just like a teenage girl, kind of not, but she's making a great point there, which is like, he's sitting right behind her and like, he's not paying attention. He's on his phone. And so it's like this ominous thing, but it's also like a little nod to Halloween. Because in Halloween, when she's like not paying attention, she's looking outside at Michael Myers across the street. And they're discussing fate. And and how you can't escape it. And so
which is why most horror movies are usually like suburban white people, because they don't have enough trauma in their life that they're hyper vigilant like the rest of us.
Get off your phones.
Get off your phones.
It's a PSA. That's what Hereditary was. Get off your fucking phones. That's Ari Aster's biggest thing.
As per the usual, Ari Aster
more shot like Ari Aster.
No, we
Sean's
do like him here. We do like him.
Oh, dude, I love Ari
Sean,
Aster.
you got to stop with the arm, dude. There's no way that's not making noise.
Yours is a little bit more silent than the rest of the arm.
Oh, dude. We
have to get him like a dummy arm so he can play with it. It's his fidget spinner.
We should give him a fidget spinner, though. He'd stop fucking with the arm if he had a fidget spinner.
Sean's fidget spinner is the arm of a different mic that doesn't work.
A mic that's not plugged in.
We give him one of those cheek mics, and then he has to play with the one that's unhooked.
Sean's our little cousin who tries to play video games with us. So it's just unplugged the entire time.
So the symbol, I'm sure there's more than this, but this is just some of the stuff that I've seen. Shout out to Heavy Spoilers. It's a great YouTube channel if you want to see any of the Easter eggs and fun facts that we don't have time to delve into all of them, but
Yeah.
he usually does like 20 to 30-minute videos
Oh,
that
yeah.
touch on like all kinds of stuff. And, he throws in some theory stuff that a lot of times you're like, it seems like that might be a stretch.
Yeah.
But also, he
Right.
might be right. It's like,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
knows?
that's true.
So Payman is a, demon god of hell. He was a servant of Satan. This is based on actual like lore of, of Satan and hell. But
Actual Bible lore.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. I don't think this is technically biblical. It'd be more like the
Yeah, no, this is
Bible
so
fan
this is
fiction.
accurate. This is according to the manga.
Funny enough, there is like Bible manga. Well, I think it's like a Bible comic book. But.
Yeah. Well, that's basically what people used to do back in the day, right? That was like Dante's Inferno and all that. Like,
Right.
So Payman has these 3 heads that he carries with him, right? And the film has these references to there's a lot of those like 3 hats on the bedroom wall.
Yeah.
There's 3 little like things that kind of look like heads in that symbol.
Right.
And that symbol that you see that's on the grandmother's necklace and the daughter's necklace.
Yeah.
That's I wrote down a couple just to, I'm sure there's more because Ari Aster is so attention to detail oriented. I mean, it's
More like Arias turd.
Nice one, dude.
I derailed it for that. Yeah.
We praise Danny for it, but we're like, fuck you, Sean, when he says it.
So there's like monogram, but like nightgowns that are in the movie that have it. Obviously the mom and the grandma, but it's also on like a throw pillow in the house. It's on the
post that beheads Charlie. Yeah,
it's on the post.
Yeah, it is on the post.
Yeah.
So that whole like
Was it really?
Yeah. They
that's
do
how
like a
you kinda
little
know. It's
zoom
like,
into
this
it.
is-
And
this
you
was
see it there.
designated. to
Wait,
happen,
damn!
yeah.
I guess I just forgot that. Or
This is one of those movies that you it's
You
hard
gotta
to
watch
watch.
it twice. You had to watch it.
Wait, was it there? Like it was obvious. Like they didn't hide it.
Not
I
super
think
obvious.
they show that like I think when they show the head in the morning with all the whatever, like it cuts to and/or pans up to the post, and you see it. Yeah,
it's also on the attic when she gets up there and
Yes.
like finds her mom's body.
yeah,
and
and
all
she's
that,
like,
where
"Oh,
the
weird."
flies
yeah.
are.
Oh, yeah, because like her mom's body gets like dug up by the cult because they needed the grandmother's head, Toni Collette's head, and Charlie's head. I think right with the 3 heads.
3 heads.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Are better than one.
Yeah. Couldn't take. Yeah.
And who said that first? Payman.
Payment, yeah.
Payment.
yeah. 3 heads are better than one.
He just said it as a phrase.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
the cult was just like, we have your 3 heads, and he was like, I was just saying that.
Yeah.
But
We
you know
made
what,
like a whole
honestly,
signal about it.
pretty
though,
metal
yeah.
actually.
Pretty better, not
pretty
bad,
cool, yeah,
not
yeah.
bad.
So
It's like a motivational quote on a wall somewhere. 3 heads are better than one. Payment. Yeah. Yeah.
there's some super cool stuff about the marketing for this film. They actually set up an Etsy shop, and
Whoa,
somebody
really?
made or they use like the dolls and stuff that they make in the movie.
Oh,
actually
sick.
sold on Etsy
That's
as like,
cool.
and they call it like Charlie's Creations or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
For
it.
weird
Yeah.
like things. Yeah.
If anybody wants to hook us up with one of those,
Oh my gosh, please.
Oh yeah, we'll put it up somewhere.
yeah, that'd be
that'd be
dope. I'd love to get my.
Yeah.
And when I say hook us up with, I mean purchase from you.
Mm-hmm.
For a reasonable discount.
Yeah.
Wait, we give the discount, or like we tell them what the discount will be.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
terrible things for you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I lied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another fun fact: Gabriel Byrne and Alex Wolff, the father and son in this, actually were in an HBO show together 10
Really?
years prior.
Really?
Yeah,
What
Yep,
show was
called
this?
In Treatment.
Oh, very cool.
And
okay,
and so they kind of have this running joke like,
Yeah.
hey, every 10 years let's play father and son.
yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So 2028.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, 'cause I was gonna say my fun fact about Alex Wolff is that he was in the fucking Naked Brothers band, which was like a I think it was either Disney or Nickelodeon, but it was like a
Nickelodeon.
band of brothers, just called the Naked Brothers Band, and they were kind of
Band
like
of Brothers is different.
Crazy car.
What, is that one of those
Yeah,
songs?
that's one of the. Go ahead and roll the clip of them. Crazy car.
Yeah, but you were saying Naked Brothers Band is different.
No, you said Band of Brothers.
Oh yeah,
Band of Brothers.
yeah, Naked Brothers.
HBO
yeah,
show.
He's driving the car as his sister's head gets chopped up.
Great.
Play it on the radio.
This is Naked Brothers Band. Yeah, canonizing Naked Brothers Band is like
he doesn't even notice that her head. Like it's just like there's no stoppage. He just
It's a
keeps
comedy
driving.
now, yeah.
He even pulls up.
Yeah. It's a car. Yeah. That's so stupid.
Fucking vibing out. Yeah.
He never finds out. Yeah.
So Alex,
I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna put that together. Dude.
you're gonna
That's
actually
great.
clip it for him.
I'm gonna clip that part. Yeah.
And then just have it be
Do Crazy
Yeah,
Cars,
crazy.
but over that footage.
Yeah.
Okay. It's coming to you. Hold him to it if he doesn't release the
Oh
clip.
yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I'm absolutely doing it.
So
Yeah.
Millie Shapiro is the girl's name, the daughter.
Yeah.
Alex Wolff and Millie Shapiro actually went to the same school, so they.
Oh,
they
whoa.
But they obviously are pretty far apart in age.
Yeah.
But they knew each other, and also Gabriel Byrne, already knew Alex Wolff clearly.
Right.
So Toni Collette was sort of the odd man out, which is also her
yeah.
position in the family. She's
Oh
sort of
yeah.
like,
yeah.
She's also
So-
Australian, isn't she?
Is she?
I think she's Australian, which I think I heard her talk and I was like, what?
I won't vouch for that, so if you want to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll fact check myself.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm also from down under.
3 heads in one.
Is that your Toni Collette impression?
No, that was payment, right? Or was that,
Payment.
Yeah. I'm also
Um,
from down under.
So
I keep telling you, I'm not from hell. I'm from Australia.
close enough. Ari Aster did something kind of cool to like try and get them to get into the flow of these characters and like that dynamic of the like brother and sister. So he actually like had them like have dinner together, and then just like they would like sit quietly and like.
Oh,
So he
whoa.
kind of it was like a little bit of prep, and then also free dinner. So that's nice.
Cute.
Yeah, it's a write off,
Killed two birds with one stone.
Most of Hollywood is just one big write off, as we discovered in our last 2
Oh,
episodes
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Confirmed. Tony Collette is Australian.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it
You
is.
guys got another one.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You claimed another. Yeah.
Yeah, good for
Thank you
Yeah.
for taking American jobs.
So Toni Collette's had a long, great career. She's been in a lot of wonderful stuff.
Knives Out. I remember
But she,
these,
yeah,
it's
but
great
she
in
did
Knives
tell her agent, she was like, I don't want to keep doing so much like heavy drama type stuff.
Yeah.
But then she read
And
the
then she
script.
did Hereditary.
Yeah.
She read the script and she was like,
It's like, how about being a
This is-
scream queen? Yeah. Yeah.
She was like, this script's too good. Like, she just loved Ari Aster's script. She also
Yeah.
said that working with Ari Aster is the most prepared she's ever seen a director be. Like,
Really?
she said he is far and beyond the way that most directors work. Like, remember how we talked about Hitchcock, how he storyboarded the movies and he would go, okay, the movie's done, now all we gotta do is shoot it. Ari Aster's the same way. Like,
Really?
they even down to like the way that he is with cameras. Like they've kind of said it's very like similar to Hitchcock. Like he knows the distance of the lens and what it needs to be.
Oh, really?
Without he just tells them what to do and they're like, holy shit, fucking right.
This is an easy job.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 I would say that, and like, because this has been said like a lot, is that like Hereditary is probably like our decade's big horror movie.
Yeah.
Like
I'd
sure.
say
probably
that
like
seems like general consensus for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the contemporaries for him would be like I'm blanking on the name, but Maxine and the X.
Oh, Ty West.
Ty West.
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Totally.
These directors are lovers of film, but also like clearly grew up on
Yeah.
Mandy for me is and same year. I mean,
Yeah.
2018 was just such a great year for 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
It was sort of signifying like there's going to be a resurgence
Oh yeah.
and making horror that is, they call it elevated horror, and I always try to shy away from, or not shy away from, but I always
it
try to
almost means
not.
that horror inherently is not elevated.
Exactly.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just
totally.
like this new brand of it is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
So the whole film is done in Utah.
Oh shit. There you go.
I mean, there might be a few minor things they had
Those
to shoot.
Mormons, yeah.
Yeah, the Mormons. Hey,
Is
speaking
payment
of,
Mormon or
speaking of tax write-offs?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Payment Mormon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Mormon god of soaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you have to pray to payment. Anytime that you
Yeah.
Jump up and down on the bed.
Get your friends in there. The more
like
friends, the better. 3 heads are better than 1. Yeah.
I like the idea that he chose Utah because Mormons were easier for him to manipulate. But he's also like kind of knows what he chose.
He's like, I
and
read the
he's
script through a hat, so
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
believe me.
They're all kind of weird.
He's
so,
like, I told you guys, you'll all get your planet. Jesus.
Yeah.
They shot this in 32 days.
Whoa, that's
Which is
crazy. That's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, the whole interior
done.
of the house was done on a sound stage,
Oh, sure.
which you wouldn't normally consider Utah a place to go do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's impressive to be able to. It always is with really well made films, but the exterior interior being separate places is kind of mind boggling when you watch how well they transition things with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite shots, just a little thing for me to throw in, when they show the house from the outside right near the end as everything is getting to like its climax.
Yeah.
There's this wide shot of the house in the dark, but there's enough moonlight to where you see all the naked people.
Yeah.
Before they're up in the treehouse and everything, they're standing in the yard.
Yeah.
Fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Just imagine looking outside.
It's a bunch of naked people.
Are they here to kill me or fuck me?
Or both. Yeah.
This is an orgy or a murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another
He
fun
loves
thing.
his naked people, Ari
He
Aster, for
really
sure.
does.
Yeah. I love that. When the woman's pushing on his ass cheeks in the summer. Oh, it's the best. Yeah. I hope you guys really delved into that on the
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
I love when we were. Well, I should have recorded the phone call of me asking you because you were like, "Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I can be the hands pushing your ass on this episode."
Yeah. Make sure you finish inside this episode. Yeah. That's my favorite. And his fucking high ass face, just looking up like, what? Yeah. So good. Yeah.
So Alex Wolff wanted. He went method for this, so he actually asked everybody on the set to call him Peter. He stayed in character while he was on set.
Oh shit!
But he got a little carried away at one point because Ari asked her if he would let him break his own nose on the desk for real, like in the scene. And Ari Aster was like, "Hey man, appreciate the dedication. Relax."
Yeah, I'm not asking that of
don't
you.
break your own nose.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you asked him today, he would probably say, "I didn't mean literally. Like, let me sell it."
Alex Wolff goes home and he's like, he asks his own sister, "Hey, can I behead you real quick for this method role? Can you just drive him behind?"
He's
the
like,
back?
Peter asked that question, not Alex.
Sorry, yeah.
I'm gonna be a demon prince. That's what you meant at first. She's like, yeah. Can I actually get something inside me?
Yeah.
So he
Make
did
that guy happen.
Yeah.
So
I like the idea of him just trying to impress the director. He's just like, "What do you want me to do for this scene? You want me to break my own nose?
Yeah.
You want me? I'll suck your dick though. I'll suck your dick right now.
No, I just need you to act.
I just
I would call this buff. I was like, all right, fine. Then you're jumping out the window too.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's so great.
yeah, you're doing everything from now on.
We're gonna
this is what you
pour
wanted,
actual
was it?
gasoline on you, right? Because doesn't Toni Collette pour gasoline on him in her dream or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So for that scene, they had a padded top for the desk,
Mm-hmm.
and he went, committing to the
Damn.
bit,
Yeah.
He went so hard that he fucking broke his jaw.
Damn. He
Yeah.
truly did it for the vine.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
So he just did it anyways?
Basically,
He was like, no, that's what he said.
He didn't
said
break
no.
his nose, he broke his jaw.
I told you
so,
not to break your nose, but you didn't say anything about my jaw.
Yeah. That's so insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been one to believe that going full method is a good idea for your mental health in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, they did it on Apocalypse Now, and they had to literally like talk Marlon Brando into coming out of the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going a little too. Well, the problem too was Francis Ford Coppola became like a method director, so the two of them are like vibing off each other, like, yeah. And then what about this? And then Martin Sheen's like, "Can I leave now?"
Yeah.
Anyway,
crazy.
it's not necessarily a horror movie, but I would love to do an Apocalypse Now episode just because there's so much insane shit.
I feel like there's a couple movies that kind of like sit outside of horror, but in horror in a way that like I feel like we should touch on, like Blade. 1 and 2, I feel like would be a
I
great.
feel like counts enough.
There's probably
Yeah.
some thrillers as well in there.
Yeah.
Or like, horror
Or
thrillers,
Jurassic Park, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Even
Jurassic
like
Park.
Shutter Island is probably like kind of
Oh,
I
Kinda
watched that
tiptoes.
recently again, and I was like, God damn, it's a good twist.
Psychological horror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get Out, Us, like those types of movies
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You guys should do a Jordan Peele episode for sure. Yeah.
Oh
Should
yeah.
do Morbius.
Oh, it's Morbid time, baby. You should do an episode on Men as well. Did you guys ever see
We
that?
haven't done Men
Garland?
yet. I hated that movie.
Oh, I've not even seen it because all my friends said it sucked ass.
It's so bad.
I didn't
It's
see it,
so
but
bad.
every time I saw the trailer in theaters,
Yeah,
they'd
yeah.
go,
Mainly 'cause I felt
man,
it.
and
Man,
everybody would laugh.
Everyone laughed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're
so
like,
funny.
oh, it's so terrifying. Men are so terrifying. Yeah.
I mainly hated it because I felt attacked.
Yeah, like Barbie. Yeah, like I have a friend who gave Barbie a 1-star review, or like 1 out of 10. I was like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
At worst, it's a 4
more
or 5.
BS.
Yeah, never bring
BS,
never
yeah.
bring your
Way to
girlfriend
say that.
around that dude.
Yeah, totally not. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Okay, so we always like to finish off with talking about the.
We do always like to finish that.
We like to finish around here. We might edge for a while, but we like
Sean
to finish.
especially loves that.
Yeah, I don't need. I told you once. I'll say it again. I don't need to come.
Hey,
We-
babe, I don't need to come. Yeah.
I'm here for you, babe.
Yeah.
So we like to do Rotten Tomatoes scores. We always like to see how close we get.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna do a critic score first. What do we guys think? How do we feel like the critics felt about this?
It's a horror movie, but it's got to be well received horror movie though.
Horror has been turning around in the last.
Yeah.
Tough to find them in back in the day.
Yeah.
But,
Have you guys talked about how I personally don't think Rotten Tomatoes is like an incredible gauge of like
No.
Yeah, we've talked
quality.
about
Yeah,
it,
'cause
yeah.
I feel like I've heard you guys be like, what about like Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes ratings?
shit that doesn't make sense.
Because isn't it usually just people rate it either like rotten or not, and then
Yeah.
it's just what percentage of people think it's worth
That's a
watching?
dumb
Is that kinda
scale.
what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a dumb
dumb
Because
scale.
then, because
yeah.
like I feel like there are certain movies that are worth watching that are like 7 out of 10s, but then there's some that are clearly like 10 out of 10.
Well,
worth
there's
watchings.
go by
Yeah.
the percentage.
Oh,
So
it is
1
percentage?
to
Yeah.
100.
Okay,
But,
yeah.
But the
Oh.
problem is Rotten Tomatoes goes by 100 to 1
Yeah,
to
Right,
but
100.
the
yeah.
individual reviews, isn't it just rotten or not?
Yeah, like I think it's just like,
Yeah.
90% of people said this was worth watching, basically.
Right, but they do
right?
it percentage based. So it's like
Oh, they do. The people
Yeah.
do on an individual scale.
People, yeah.
Right. So
Oh,
so
okay.
the issue there though is like when more so especially when it comes to horror because
Yeah.
there is such a deep fan base like
Yeah.
when you think about genres there isn't really other genres that people like have such a
Yeah.
immersive fan base.
Maybe like Marvel
Yeah.
movies, but that's maybe about it. But that's more of like from the comics, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so because of that there's a
Mhm.
lot of people who are considered to be critics
yeah,
but they just have like a blog
Yeah,
or they might
sure,
be
sure.
somebody who if you took the time to actually consider yourself to be a critic of some kind
Right.
which includes YouTubers, it includes people just running a blog,
Yeah.
anybody who's taken the time to actually say that I'm credited in this way,
yeah, yeah.
all you got to do that is be like, I got a website.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the problem is
Everyone's
with
a
horror,
critic.
Literally these days, yeah.
Great job, guys. So the problem is like when we did The Purge
Yeah.
and Uncle Sam.
Yeah, yeah.
Uncle Sam is like any objective
Yeah.
viewpoint of that movie is this is a bad movie.
This is a bad
It's a
film,
bad
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
but
for
because people in the horror community just love
yeah.
the campy
Of course.
fun
sure. Yeah.
there's a lot of parts of that movie that are hilarious
Yeah.
for the wrong reasons, but they were trying to make something kind of
Definitely.
horror comedy
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Right.
And so they all these like lesser known critics
mm-hmm.
because they're just people with websites
Yeah,
and shit.
right.
Their ratings get factored into the minimal amount of
Right.
like the smaller the movie, the less big critics are going to
Oh yeah,
participate.
of course, yeah.
So then it
They have
becomes
more weight.
right.
in
So
it,
then it
yeah.
becomes there's like 5 like New York Times and like
Yeah.
Chicago Tribune. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like 5 of those,
Uh-huh.
and they're all bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest are like a lot of people being like, "We love this. It's crazy."
Yeah,
and then you're
yeah.
like, "Why does Uncle Sam have a 60? What the fuck
Yeah,
is
yeah.
happening?"
Yeah, yeah.
And then the audience score is like less because more everybody can participate
yeah,
in that.
yeah,
So,
right. I
so
would say
for
yeah.
this, obviously, there's this is a movie that is more openly received. It's not just
yes,
these lower
of
down.
course, yeah.
This is the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I also eat mayonnaise from the jar.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if your tastes are in the right place.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say, give me a 83 critic.
Okay.
Do you want me to do both? At
Yeah,
once?
yeah, go ahead.
83 critic, 92, or no, 89 fan.
So we're going to 83. I'm going to write them down. So
83 critic, 89 fans.
83, 89 for Danny. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd
Sean,
give
what
it
do you think?
100%.
I think the 87 on both.
Ooh, you think that they
I think
agreed?
they, yep.
Boys going
Wow.
down the middle. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
okay. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
like right in between mine. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say critics were like 91, and then
Ooh.
audience scores was like 97.
That's.
I think it was
believe
well
it.
reviewed on both
Yeah,
regards.
both ends. Yeah.
I
I mean,
can't
I don't know why I was the one. Like, I love this is my favorite horror movie, but I for some reason was like, well, maybe not everybody thinks the same as me, and they're all losers. Yeah.
I haven't met anyone who said a bad word about this movie. At
Oh
all.
yeah, not even that it's like mid. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone's like, this is just a good movie.
Yeah, I think the
Mid-
general consensus
Mid-
is this
it's a
is a
movie.
great movie.
Yeah. Midsummer. Yeah, more like midsummer. Yeah. I also thought Midsummer was good. Not as good as Hereditary, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had to watch them back to back, I was like, "Fuck, it's not as good." But I do enjoy
Yeah.
Midsummer more. But that's just because
Florence
I
Pugh is
like
incredible
drugs.
in Midsummer. Yeah. Oh, you say you were high on drugs?
I like drugs.
Oh yeah.
Best depiction of mushrooms. We don't have to get into
Yeah.
it.
Who
yeah.
was
Yeah,
right?
He took about half
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
episode.
I need to know.
to
Yeah.
talk about mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
so,
closest?
One of you guys is gonna. We can't give it. You guys are all over the place. So.
Oh, are we really? Wait.
Not on purpose. I feel like you guys were pretty concise. But
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately, the critics and audience is crazy for this. So
Really?
the critics
Really?
was 90%.
Okay.
So everybody
good.
was like in the right ballpark.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But the audience score is 71%.
What?
That's fucking nuts.
That's horse shit.
I think part of the reason,
Yeah.
and we've talked about this before with
Yeah.
horror movies, the more into the mainstream
Yeah.
a horror movie gets,
Oh.
the more they're going to get rough critiques because non-horror fans become a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
sure.
it's great because it brings more people into the horror fold.
Yeah, yeah.
But it also has a lot of people who are just like bored and want to like say how they
Yeah.
didn't like a thing.
Or maybe there's some
Yeah.
people like, I didn't like it because it was scary.
That's what
And
I
you're
was
like, well,
saying.
shut the fuck up, dog. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's
I watched
scary.
the porn and people fucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that
couldn't
means
sleep at night afterward.
Yeah, yeah. This movie ruined my life. Yeah.
so
you're like, oh.
Sean.
Did it emotionally move you?
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely
crazy.
it did. Yeah, yeah.
So Ray's
Crazy.
gonna win. Ray's gonna win the critic score.
Damn.
With
yeah.
91% to 90. Not bad. Sean's
Yeah.
gonna win the audience score because
87 is
87
the closest
down
one,
to
yeah.
71.
That
So,
sucks.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm even more because I think like I'm sure on Letterboxd and IMDb it's got pretty
Yeah, completely,
positive
yeah.
marks, you know, for sure.
yeah, I feel like Letterbox is probably like
it's got like
everybody's
probably like
100,
a 4 out of 5 at least. At
Yeah,
least a 4 out of
exactly.
5. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And lastly, we'll do the we like to do budget versus box office.
yes.
That's a
Yes.
fun one.
Yes.
So how much do you think it costs to make the film Hereditary?
$5. No.
That'd be
actually
very
Fucking
impressive with Tony
impressive.
Collette.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like I'll pay you $1, Tony Collette. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Collette, Gabriel Byrne.
You guys have any thoughts? I'm gonna say because it's definitely not like a probably didn't have a huge budget. It was also Ari Aster's first kind of major film.
Yeah, it
I
was
think,
his,
right?
his first
So-
full feature.
and in horror usually smaller budgets. I'm gonna say like $20 million.
Okay.
25 million.
25. 25. Okay.
Give me $5 more million there. 25 million.
Yeah.
25. Okay.
What do you guys think?
I'm like in the sevens right now. Let's go 17 million.
Okay.
Ooh.
17.
I'm gonna
Okay.
drop right in the middle, 20 million.
Ooh. Okay.
20 million, okay.
Damn. If 20 mils right on
That
the
would
dot, I'm
have
gonna
been
be
21, actually.
pissed. Yeah.
And what do you
yeah, it
think
would
for
be.
box office? What do you
Box
think it
office,
earned?
I think it did quite well. Although I didn't see it in theaters. I'm gonna say it did. Box office is this just opening weekend, right? Or is this
No, this is total for
okay, okay.
Overall.
full first
Like,
run.
you're like,
yeah.
I think it did well in theaters, although I didn't see it.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you do have to account for me not watching it.
Yeah, that's because I was scared.
scared.
I was a scared little baby. Yeah. I couldn't handle it in the theater. I didn't want to pee on the seats.
All right.
Yeah. Give me 80 mil box office.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sean.
That's probably a lot. I don't know. That's all right.
I don't know. Was it 55?
55?
Mm-hmm.
Was
What
it?
you think, bud?
I'm gonna shoot for the stars. I'm gonna say 100 mil.
There you
big
go.
boy.
Yeah, big boy. It's actually $3 billion. I don't know how you guys didn't get that. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
So
Yeah.
they only spent $10 million.
Whoa,
What?
shit.
Which is
That's
very
great.
impressive.
Very
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I think
So
we
Sean, you were the closest.
I
one?
was.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to brag.
and I think
Yeah, 17, right? Yeah.
we had the similar. Yeah, Sean got that with 17.
Damn.
We had this same thing with thing about Midsommar, where they're talking about like I think it was like what 6 million or something. Like it
Midsummer
was,
was 6.
Yeah, it was
God
super.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's super
Okay.
low.
Yeah. Even less for the second movie. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And box office was 87.8
Ooh,
million.
I said 80,
dollars.
baby. I said 80, right? So that's
Yeah, buddy,
that's
you got
that's
it.
a dub. Hell yeah,
Dude.
You
Let's
got
go,
you got
baby.
your win.
I got something at
They
least.
made
You know,
70
yeah.
million on this.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, and you guys. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made. Yeah, that's a $70 million.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I feel like even now, I'm sure they're getting pretty good because I think everyone kind of acknowledges it. Like anyone who's getting into horror, I'm sure they've heard that Hereditary is a must-watch. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever contracts are getting through streaming.
Yeah.
How did you guys watch it? Was it on Cinemax?
Cinemax.
Cinemax. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
And then also you can rent it on Amazon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They usually got everything. So.
Yeah, I watched it over the shoulder of the guy on the flight. You know, just
Yeah.
on his thing. No. I watched it at a house.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, dude, that girl just died. I want to watch this. Yeah. Oh, look at Turner. He sticks his little tongue out, by the way, when he sleeps.
Oh my god, can we zoom in on that? That's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
He's
got
being cute.
Jesus Christ.
You're so
Got a little
cute.
tongue.
I want to steal you. Don't
Does,
tell Sean.
does anybody else kind of
Hey.
feel
Yeah.
like the mom in this movie is also similar to the mom in Evil Dead Rise? I think there's some similar vibes.
I've not seen it,
feel
but
like-
I will.
Maybe she's Australian. You should look it up.
Yeah. look at that.
Yeah.
I got another one.
Alyssa Sutherland is.
Elisa Sutherland.
L.A. Sutherland.
Yeah.
Bloomin' onion.
I don't know, maybe just-
shrimp on the bobby. Welcome to
So-
Outback Steakhouse.
So sorry to our Australian friends.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
as
yeah.
many impressions as I can do. My Australian's not great, so yeah. Carl Weezer's good though. Jimmy.
Yeah, if you don't want us to make fun of you, how about next time win the war?
Against who?
Yeah, which one?
I don't know.
yeah.
Against the
Probably
the kangaroos.
the English. Yeah, the kangaroos. Yeah, the kangaroos.
They lost that war.
They lost some more to the
Lost
koalas too, and they got syphilis. So yeah. Do you guys know about
Yeah.
that? I think it's syphilis or chlamydia.
Chlamydia,
Oh,
yeah.
fuck! Damn it! Shit. Koalas have like a rampant chlamydia problem. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh.
don't fuck
Don't
koala.
fuck
Yeah.
koala.
Don't fuck koalas, Sean.
Hey,
John,
hey,
Don't edge with
whoa.
koalas. Yeah.
Chlamydia.
Is that like a new song for chlamydia?
Yeah, they just released it.
In like a commercial, yeah.
Chlamydia.
Chlamydia, yeah.
Well, that was fun, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming by.
Of course, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate
Sean?
it. Imagine if we did 2 movies. Be like, welcome to the first 3-hour episode of Reasonably Afraid. Yeah.
Yeah, we would definitely do a part 1 and 2.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's
Yeah, it was
fun
fun.
because I like reached out again to you guys because originally Zach like brought this up to me and you guys were starting the podcast and then I like started listening. I was like, fuck, I want to be on this podcast.
Nice.
I want to witness the dynamic up front. I want to hear Ray's laugh in person even more. You know? Oh, that's a lower one.
What can you do?
I don't
Can
know.
you
I
do
feel like I'm
Sean's?
That's pretty good.
wait, close your eyes and guess who it is. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go. Do it. Okay. Pretty good.
I wish I could do his voice too.
It's not
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
but it's pretty
No,
good.
no, I know. Yeah. Hey, no one's perfect.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
give him
I didn't
time.
even close my
Yeah.
eyes. You guys are just both smiling, so
Yeah,
it was hard
yeah.
to tell where the sound was coming from.
It's tough.
Yeah.
For me, even.
To laugh?
Yeah. Or to know which one's my laugh.
Oh,
yeah.
You're like, is that coming out of my mouth or not? Yeah.
Something before we end the episode I didn't get to say during was
yeah.
that,
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
because we were talking about the prequel, with the
like if there was
brother,
a prequel.
Sure.
and I just really wanted to say, oh, that'd be called his Hereditary. And you know,
that's good. I
thanks.
like that.
You know, I was on that sit for a while, and I just thought I should say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
His
should
Hereditary.
really. They need to hear this.
Could you imagine how little people would give us like if they'd be like, God, why the fuck would you do that, Ari Aster? His Hereditary. Yeah.
His
There's like a
Hereditary.
dash in it too.
His Hereditary, directed by Ari Aster.
Yeah. Hereditary 2 or Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
They're like, why'd you do that? He's like, because I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. He's read after Bo is Afraid and the negative reviews of Bo is Afraid. I don't care anymore.
I'd like to congratulate us on this. I just realized this is probably our first time closing out without talking about drugs. So pretty impressive.
No, I definitely brought up.
He brought up Shrooms with Midsummer, but
well, I mean,
much.
at the very end though, he always.
Oh, do we?
Lately,
I always bring up some drug. For a while, it was cocaine, but
okay, yeah.
Cocaine, I just think is the funniest drug.
It really is.
Yeah,
I guess because they don't really do any drugs in Hereditary. I don't think, right?
No, he does smoke weed.
Yeah.
Oh, he does smoke weed. You're right. Yeah.
Which is not a fucking drug. It's a plant from the earth. So.
I mean, most drugs are plants from.
Yeah, cocaine.
Yeah, I remember when people used to make that argument. I'd be like, "Yeah, so is poison ivy, and they're gonna rub it all in my body. You fucking weirdo."
Yeah.
You can just like take drugs. You don't need to make the argument it's not drugs.
Yeah,
Just
they're
be like,
chemicals. Where do you think we're getting these chemicals?
Yeah,
The earth.
Yeah.
Oh no, we just did the drug thing.
Oh damn it! Fuck! Damn! Yeah.
First 9 episodes demonetized.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not allowed to talk about drugs?
I don't know.
I don't want to fucking make a podcast anymore.
Shut this shit down.
Sit down.
We're fucking done.
So before we sign off, let the people know where they can see you and plug anything you want to plug.
Yeah, the name's Danny Padilla. I genuinely don't remember if I said my name before, but I hope I did.
I said it.
Okay, good. Danny Padilla. You can find me on everywhere. Danny Padilla, Danny J Padilla on Instagram. Fuck that J. I've been trying to get rid of the J in my Instagram name for forever. But yeah, and TikTok, all the above. I was gonna say, like, I haven't been in any of your guys' videos, but maybe I will be sometime soon.
Yeah.
Check out the podcast.
Yes, check out the podcast. My podcast or your podcast?
Your podcast.
Oh, mine. Yeah, Three's Us. It's great. It's a great time. If you just want to be entertained every single week for 30 minutes, I highly recommend it. We play a lot of stupid fucking games. We have a lot of really silly bits about how one of my podcast co-hosts doesn't have a dad. He makes that joke. Yeah.
If you want Danny to be back on, we will only have him on if you request it. I'm kidding.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah,
Totally
no. It's just I make like 8 fake accounts.
You can fill in for me when I'm on
Danny's
the road.
so
for a
fucking
weekend.
handsome. Whatever. Yeah, I can fill in for you. Yeah.
I feel like he could probably do my job okay.
Yeah.
If I knew the movies, maybe,
You could be a good straight man. I also think our friend Chad would be funny to have him pretend to be me while I'm gone, and then no one acknowledge it.
I think the moment you guys have chat on the podcast is the moment that you guys just will not. It'll be like a 4-hour podcast of just Chad and Sean.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
making.
I don't want to do that because that's just the Asian gym bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We got a comment from Pammy Dalia who says that Danny was great.
Oh, already, huh? Cool. Thank you guys for the live comments. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. No, I would love to come back on because I was talking to Ray about like different, like even like if you guys ever want to get into the series of like the Mike Flanagan shows, Haunting Hill House, Midnight Mass, like those ones. Oh,
that's something I also wanted to bring up, but I mean we're running out of time anyways. But it is. I feel like Ari Aster and Mike Flanagan have very similar styles when it comes to like the way they present horror.
One's
like,
just a TV show.
One's just a TV show.
But they're limited series, so they're great. Yeah,
but
I don't know if you've ever seen any of those, Zach, but they're really good.
Great.
Yeah.
Haunting on Hill House is like very in the vein of Hereditary, where it's like, this is a family drama that is like centered in this horrific.
Sean's got something coming up.
Horror stuff. Yeah.
I just think Zach doesn't know what he's talking about sometimes. Where he's like, he doesn't even know this guy.
I know who Mike Flanagan is.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We gotta. How do you want me to watch a million movies or a million TV shows? Pick a thing. Okay.
Yeah. Or if you guys ever do an episode on Barbarian, I'd love to be there for. I love Barbarian.
Barbarian's great.
Talk
I watched
to me
that
as
on
well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be his episode. Is talking.
Oh
to me.
yeah. Because we watched it already, and we even recorded it.
It's really good. I love it. I love that it was made by 2 YouTubers. Represent.
Yeah.
You know?
We should do a Talk to Me episode, just the 3 of us. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Yeah. Where we do like the interview style, but just one of us.
One of us.
Nice. Yeah, it's not bad.
I'd like for you to interview Sean in every episode, actually. So,
I try to, but
Yeah.
I want to know more about Sean's
color?
life. Oh, blue? No, red.
Yellow.
Teal? Oh, me too.
Damn.
Good job. Hey, great decision.
Well,
all right. I like that.
Sean and I start kissing. You're like, what?
I don't need to come.
that's the name of this episode.
Yeah,
we don't need.
I don't even need to come. Yeah.
We're gonna put that's gonna be our first merch. Is a picture of Sean's face, and then the bottom it just says, "I don't even need to come."
Yeah,
Literally. I mean, I
like
can.
It's not like I can't.
You're like,
no need to brag.
Yeah. Don't mean to brag, but I don't have to come. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming
Yeah,
on.
of course,
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Thank you guys for having me. I can't wait to listen to this and jerk off to it later. Sorry, what?
You're
You said
welcome
that?
back
Yeah.
anytime, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
It was a lot of fun.
I asked you guys to be a part of every episode, and you're like, God damn it. We really should have said that. Yeah.
We didn't mean that.
I feel like we have to explain Sean's demeanor right now. Sean is
Christ.
feeling under the weather. That's why he's like this. It's also so funny because Turner's doing the exact same thing.
Like father, like son, yeah. I like this. It looks like you're really just, I don't know, like you're being possessed by Payman right now. Are you?
This is actually perfect though, because I was like, how am I gonna get Sean and Ray to not derail the whole thing with another person here? And you guys still managed to do pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're
What's that timer at?
We're 1:30.
Oh, damn. All right, here we
but
go.
we're probably a little over because of the
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Thank
doesn't
you guys.
matter
Yeah.
though. I think
Appreciate
that was,
you guys. Yeah.
that's a perfect amount of time. If you can't spend 90 minutes hanging out with us, you don't fucking deserve us.
Yeah. We'll never be friends.
Get the hell out.
Yeah.
Tell him, Sean.
Yeah. Sean, you want to go kiss?
Go home. Sure.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't even. You guys won't know.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah,
you don't have to
we
come,
might.
Sean. We can just kiss. Yeah.
If you haven't already, join our Patreon. You get lots of extra content. Danny and Sean will be kissing on there.
Yep.
So make
I've also
sure
volunteered a couple of nudes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're tossing around ideas for the Patreon too.
Yeah,
So
of
if you
course.
have any ideas of what you would like from the Patreon, let us know. Send us a comment, email, whatever.
The three of these guys are also very lovely. So you're supporting three lovely people.
Yeah.
All with above average penises.
Yeah. If
And
you want to
Turner-
play
and
video
Turner's
games
fine.
with us.
Then Turner's fine. Yeah. I actually haven't looked at his dick yet, but should I have? I don't know. Yeah.
he'll show you if you hang out long enough.
It's huge.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's,
huge.
it's
Okay.
It's aggressively big for
so
such
disgusting.
a small dog.
By the way, for anyone just listening to the audio, Turner's a dog. We're not commenting on just a human
It's
penis.
so
yeah.
much bigger than mine. It's actually insane.
Oh no,
It's-
that's so sad.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Zach's
Anyway,
trying to get him to stop fucking his toys in the living room, not because it makes people uncomfortable, but because it makes us all insecure.
Yeah.
That's
We're like, God damn. I like that Zach's been
that.
trying to say goodbye for like 10 minutes.
oh yeah,
great.
it's all good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like, follow, subscribe, share, whatever the fuck, you know what to do.
Yeah.
If you got a friend that likes horror and likes to laugh, send them the things. Anyway.
Yeah.
Send him the thing.
Yeah, send them this thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks again for being
Yeah,
here.
of course, you
Love
guys.
you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. Especially
We'll see you next time.
Turner. Thank you for
Bye.
Bye.
Swallow this.